Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Katelyn with another Spiegel Mom Scraps Design Team video. Don't forget to use my code if you want to purchase any of the sequins seen in this video. Today I'm doing a 2-photo layout and using this beautiful pink American Crafts background paper. And these photos are of my mom feeding a giraffe when we went to one of the animal parks around us. And I'm cutting apart this American Crafts cut apart sheet, which is from a Pebbles collection. And there's a couple pieces that I want to use here, and I pull out my punches as well to use one of those. This is a Fisker's scallop punch, so I decided to punch that out. And I will punch out a couple other items that I don't end up using, but it's always nice to have those little bits and pieces to pull in later. So I believe this pink background paper is from Dear Lizzie, but don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure, because it's just sitting by itself. It was at one point in a paper pad, but I no longer have the paper pad because it fell apart, but I believe it's Dear Lizzie. I also have this DCWV cut apart that I'm putting under my photos right there, and that's Golden Craft. Adds a nice bit of shine behind the photos. And now I'm looking through some of my 6x6 paper pads. This one's by Kaiser Craft. And there's a lot of beautiful colors in here, and I wasn't sure my color scheme at first, but I went with like a blue and pink and yellow color scheme, as well as some craft thrown in there for another neutral. But this is one of the most colorful layouts I've made in a while, or at least I think I've made in a while. I tend to do monochromatic or very small color schemes and not like bold, bright color schemes, so this was a really fun challenge for me to work with. And if you guys haven't checked it out in our Facebook group, 15 Minutes to Scrap with Spiegel Mom Scraps, we still have all of our International Scrapbooking Day challenges up. This one was inspired by so many things that I saw that day. I don't remember whose it was, but I saw a beautiful bright layout by one of you guys, and I just had to pull out some bright colors to make this layout. I believe I made this that weekend, but it's been a while since I've filmed, since I'm in the process of moving. But I'm looking at all the other cutter parts that I have here, and if I remember correctly, this is like a celebration collection. This is one of those papers that's at Michael's, but it was designed by one of the American Crafts teams, but then they just printed on the thinner paper, and that's exactly what's happening here. It's thinner paper, and it doesn't tell me what collection it's from, which is a little bit annoying, but it'll work out. Now I'm digging through my washi tape because I'm addicted to washi tape. As some of you might know if you follow me on Instagram at Grey Florals, is that I keep buying washi tape, even though that was one of the things I wasn't allowed to buy this year. That's not going so well. It's just so cheap and inexpensive, and I love all the different colors and patterns, and one of my challenges this year for myself was to use washi tape on every single layout, which is me tucking it in right here on this scalloped border that I created using a punch. So now that I have this sort of cluster building, you can see it sort of coming together very easily on the left-hand side. I clearly don't have a spot for a title yet, unless I want the title to be "You Can Never Have Too Much Happy," but that's not what I want the title to be at this point in time. Actually, I don't have a title at this point in time, if I remember correctly. I didn't come up with a title until the very end, which is no surprise if you've watched my videos before. I like to leave journaling till the end and the title to the end, unless I have something very specific in mind. So now I'm just trimming off a section of that chevron gold to make it extend past that cut apart that I put there, just so it looks like it's a longer layer. That's a great way to help spread your stash a little bit longer. If you have a paper you really love, to cut it down. Just by cutting that little strip off, I saved, 3 inches of paper, which is really great. And now I'm going to start gluing everything down with my beloved ATG gun. It's always my weapon of choice when doing large papers. Smaller papers, I like to use liquid adhesive, but it just depends on the day. So now that I have some of these elements together, I'm going to glue down the main piece here, and offsetting it to the left, not centered. And I usually do offset things from the center. I do rare center layouts, but it's just my taste. I know a lot of people who do center layouts, and they're absolutely beautiful, but I'm definitely an off-center sort of person. Now I'm using some foam dots to place them around this scallop circle. I thought I was going to use some of this teal twine in my stash, which I feel like I use this on every single layout that has teal in it, but I decided it didn't look great. It wasn't the texture I wanted, and the paper was too flimsy for what I wanted to do, so I ended up just scrapping that idea and saving it for another time. And now's where I start pulling out some die cuts. I have a lot of die cuts, And I know a lot of people love die cuts, but I've been having such a struggle to use them. It's either I use a lot of them or I don't use any of them on my layouts. I prefer to use stickers or some sort of 3D embellishment as opposed to a die cut, but I do use a couple on this layout, which makes me very happy. So I've pulled out a couple things. I have a yellow tab at the top, which doesn't look very yellow on camera, but it is indeed yellow, just so I bring in that yellow color again, and it's in 3 different spots now, so we have that visual triangle going. I also am looking at all my puffy stickers. This one says, Love Where You Are, and that is from Pink Fresh Studio. Just adds another bit of that teal color, which is very helpful for the visual triangle as well. So now I'm going to try to figure out where I'm going to put this title. Now, while I think about where I'm putting my title, I often look through all my other embellishments. It's just one of those things I multitask at doing. I'm looking through my flare, my resin flowers, and I was like, well, resin flowers don't really go with this layout, but I do have this resin rose I might use, and then I end up not using that. So it was just a complicated process, but I don't have a title yet, but I will eventually come up with a really cute one, or at least I thought it was a really cute one. And a place for my title is going to be on this beautiful doily, which again is at the Spiegel Mom Scraps store. So I'll have a link down below so you can access that very quickly. And these are definitely my favorite doilies. And as you guys know, if you've watched my personal channel, is that I love doilies. And I have quite the collection, but these dainty doilies are so much better than the doilies I have. And I wish I'd gotten them sooner. So now I'm going to create a cluster for underneath where my title's going to go. Then I am pulling out the delicious sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. These are the Llama Drama sequins. If you're interested in buying them, they're a beautiful mix, which you'll be able to see in the up-close photos a little bit better. But the No Llama Drama sequin mix is still available at the Spiegel Mom Scraps store if you're interested. And I'm going to make a little line of them up here, as well as scatter them about, which you'll see me pull them back out later on. But I'm just going to glue those down relatively quickly. And I'll cut that out so you guys don't have to watch me finish all of those little sequins. So now that the sequin lines are all glued down, I'm going to focus on the cluster again under my title as well as my actual title. I looked through some of my chipboard pre-made titles, and I do pull out one piece, and it's this craft piece that says O. As you know by the title of this video, my title is going to be Oh Golly, which I thought was just an interesting title. I don't know how I came up with it. I don't know why I came up with it, but giraffes made me think of the word golly, so that's what I went with. I do try numerous stickers to see which ones I liked best. I did not like these ones from American Crafts. I think this is one of Paige Evans. I just didn't like how the dark pink was darker than the background was. I just think it didn't match well. So what I end up doing is pulling out a different set of American Crafts stickers, which are a beautiful gold script with the light tealy blue foam underneath, which again pulls in that color from the elements in my layout. Pulling in that color again helps the visual triangle. So I write Oh Golly, and I like how the scripts sort of match, but they're also a little bit different. I don't know why I like that, but I just like mixing and matching fonts a lot. So I pulled out 2 chipboard pieces from one of my other thicker sets, which is actually from Maggie Holmes, if I'm not mistaken. 2 little heart pieces. And then the little die cut camera is from Chamel. And then I had a teal tag in my stash that I decided to pull out and use in that cluster beneath my photo, or beneath my title, so I have room to journal later. But this layout is almost complete. Of course, I have to bring the No Llama Drama sequence back and use a couple more. And I also think about using some of these beautiful ones from the other collection that I featured a little while ago, that's In Your Dreams. So the In Your Dreams and the No Llama Drama sequins are the ones I used on this layout, and they went beautifully together. Just because of the color scheme, I like to mix and match sequins, is also to provide the different sizes of sequins. I think that's fun. So I use some of these gold diamonds, which help bring in more of that gold. Again, visual triangle. We have the gold chevron craft background paper. We have the gold title. So we might as well bring in a little bit more gold through our sequins. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Check me out on my personal channel and check out the Spiegel Mom Scraps store for all of these wonderful goodies. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!